everyone. Someone, actually a number of friends, brought it to my attention. Oh, you're mentioned in the Oakland Tribune. I thought it had a big deal. Actually, I wasn't mentioned, but my blog was, and it is in an article written by Matthew Artz about Bryan Parker. It's entitled, this one. It goes like this. It says, what corporate exec says he's ready to lead Oakland, okay? And then it starts off and it says, Bryan Parker is the most audacious candidate in Oakland's 15-person mayoral field. And I thought, that's interesting. Okay, fine. But he bases it on what I wrote about Bryan and, you know, his issues here. And it said, I said he was the focus of an unfair here, a hidden attack. And I stand by that. There is what I wrote right there. Okay, that is correct. All right. And I explained what the whisper attack was all about. And, you know, I guess Matt, having nothing better to do, decided he was going to, you know, write about that. But the Tribune editors and he are like, oh, we can't mention Zenny's name because we don't want him to, you know, look, that's not the point of what I'm talking about. This, excuse my language, shit that the Tribune wrote is racist. And here's why. First of all, they say that he has the audacity to run because he was a Jean Quan appointee. But get this, all right? Why not mention what was mentioned before? That Dan Siegel, who's also running for mayor here, well, is a former friend and ally of Jean Quan and now running against her in November. But he didn't write, he being Matt Artz, didn't use the word audacious, right? So it's okay for Dan to do it, but it's not okay for Bryan. Why? Is it because Bryan is black? And before you say, oh, there you go mentioning color. Hey, I didn't. In this case, Matt did. When I wrote about Bryan, I didn't mention that Bryan was African-American or black. But Matt did. Why does it matter? But here he goes writing this stupid-ass article, and that's my opinion, and I have the right to say it. Stupid-ass article. Oh, you know, he's, this is some ridiculous crap here. I mean, it really is. And I normally don't pay attention to this stuff, but I just love getting after these people who call themselves journalists. And all the people that say, oh, they're journalists and you're a blogger. Yeah, I don't call myself a journalist. I am a blogger. I don't get off on that stuff, okay? Here's why. Because a true journalist is truly objective. Not here. No, okay? And then he says here, his self-confidence, this black man, is rooting a life story that differs from his competitors. And he has a spiritual calling. And then he comes down here and he says that Parker is the only African-American among the high-profile mayor candidates. Forgetting to mention that most of the candidates are black. Forgetting to mention that many black people have ran for mayor in Oakland's history. Forgetting to mention that a lot of people don't fucking care anymore. The bottom line is, you know, and someone said, well, he didn't mention that in the rest of the article. Look, he brought the race matter up and then put that in there just to cover himself. This is ridiculous, all right? And again, I normally don't do this, but the Tribune this year has behaved in a way that is basically un-Tribune-like. The Tribune under Bob Maynard would never have done this. Bob Maynard was, since we're talking about black people, a black publisher of the Oakland Tribune who ran it as a journalist and as a publisher, okay? Publishers exact their power. Maynard did it gentlemanly and smoothly. I don't know who the publisher of this organization is. They don't show their face. But what comes out through the editors and what comes out through the reporters this year, with respect to this election, has been garbage. And if it wasn't the election, it was the Coliseum JPA issue where they stole my story about Guy Houston defrauding the elderly. Didn't source me there. Okay. Oh, and I made a video about that too. This is wrong. Oh, and since some of you might be a little bit up in arms or angry about what I'm saying, let me double down. Ask yourself this question. Why didn't the Oakland Tribune bother to write about Joe Tuman and the fact that he accidentally hit a dog, okay? And I said, hey, look, the dog accident should not damage. I wrote about that too. It said the dog accident should not damage his run for mayor. And I wrote that right here. Dog accident should not dampen his chances to be mayor. I wrote that. It was an accident. But did the Tribune write about that? No. Which makes the Bryan Parker article look like what? Nothing more than a attempt at being a hit piece. But this is racist. You basically are calling you're calling Bryan an uppity black man. And you want to take him down a notch. That's what the way it reads. Because you say he has the audacity to run, but Dan Siegel, who's white, doesn't? Oh, and then you mention his domestic issue, and you don't mention that Joe Tuman last year had this dog problem. Fuck's going on, man? Fuck's going on? Not good. Not good.